Yeah.
How's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man. Welcome back to another episode of what will I be watching? The show where I go over the new season of anime, the upcoming season of anime, and tell you guys my first impressions on the new shows that I will be watching and the shows I won't be watching. You guys love this series. I don't know why, honestly. It's just me talking about new anime coming up. Maybe it's because, you know, you're interested, like I am, about the new shows that are coming up for the anime season, or you just gather to one video to shit all over my taste and first opinions and just how wrong they are. Either way, I appreciate the fuck out of you, so thanks for stopping by. As always, we are over at livechart.me. Shoutouts to them. The link to this website that I am checking out right now will be in the description below if you would like to follow along with me. And as you can see, today we are covering the summer 2019 anime season, which I believe starts from around the first or second week of July. So by the time this video goes up, hopefully, if it's on time, then it'll be in about roughly a month or so, about 3 weeks from now. So we still have plenty of time to bring up our thoughts and first impressions and opinions about the new shows that are coming up. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, as always, I am skipping over the leftover stuff from the previous seasons, the ones that have more than one core. So these are just the new ones that are starting from this season, and I've also listed them out in popularity. And as you can see here, the first one we have right here is Dungeon ni Deo Motomeru no wa Machigatteru no Darou ka Season 2, or more colloquially known as Danmachi, because who the fuck can pronounce the full name? I can pronounce the full name. Now, no synopsis has been added to this series because, I mean, it's Danmachi. Most people know about it. It was around before the whole isekai craze was coming about. I mean, is it even considered isekai? Not too sure. It's set in a game world, which I guess in the broader spectrum of things is considered an isekai now. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am a pretty moderate fan of Danmachi. I have read the light novels, I've obviously seen the anime, and I actually went to go see the world premiere. I was invited to the world premiere for the new movie that came out sometime this year. I've also met the creator himself, Omori Fujino. I did a panel with him 2 AXs ago, I believe. Yeah, and I might be also doing another one again this year. Not too sure though. But as you can see, I am pretty well versed in the whole Danmachi side of things, and I'm pretty excited about it. The fact that it is still on the top of popularity, considering the first season came out, what, like 4 years ago? Something like that. It's been a little while. There's been a little bit of a gap considering how popular it is. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are super excited to see this new season, as am I. JC staff are back at it again, but it doesn't tell us if it's going to be just a single core series or if it's going to be a multiple core series. So 12 episodes, 24 episodes, we don't know. But if JC staff are keeping up with their game as they usually are, then I'm sure this next season is going to be pretty freaking dope. Alright, this next one right here, Arifureta Shokugyo de Sekai Saikyo. Now, I've actually seen the title. I do recognize this title, have been floating around in a lot of bookstores here in Japan recently. It's a big upcoming title, I guess, for the light novel world. And as you can see here, it's another isekai. They never stop. But I do kind of like this aesthetic. I don't know if it's going to be so much more of a little more of a serious vibed isekai, you know, kind of in the same veins as like Goblin Slayer, a little bit of a dark twisted edge to it or not, or if it's just going to be just your standard action adventure fantasy that most isekais are, with a little comedy and ecchi sprinkled into it. It could be both, to be completely honest with you, but let's read the synopsis because I have no idea what this show is about. 17-year-old Hajime Nagumo is your average everyday otaku. You don't say. However, his simple life of pulling all-nighters and sleeping in school is suddenly turned upside down when he, along with the rest of his class, is summoned to a fantasy world. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Woo! They're treated like heroes and tasked with the duty of saving the human race from utter extinction. But what should have been any otaku's wet dream quickly turns into Hajime's nightmare, which in retrospect is also an otaku's wet dream because it's an isekai. While the rest of his class are blessed with godlike powers, Hajime's job, Synergist, only has a single transmutation skill. Ridiculed and bullied by his classmates for being weak, he soon finds himself in despair. Will he be able to survive in this dangerous world of monsters and demons with only a glorified blacksmith's level of strength? Hang on a second. You have an otaku who is summoned to a fantasy world on a quest to save the Earth and is treated with a class that is considered one of the weakest and therefore is kind of treated as this underdog and is trying to get back up to the very top where he belongs because he's a hero. Shield hero, anyone? Like, legit, does that not sound like Shield Hero? Like, am I just tripping? That sounds like Shield Hero. Just replace the shield with a synergist class. And that's fucking Shield Hero. Look, he even has like a lolly, sidekick character who's probably gonna get a whole bunch of Rule 34 because that's how isekais work. To be fair though, I'm not gonna shit all over the fact that this just sounds like a Shield Hero ripoff because, in all honesty, Shield Hero in itself is not exactly the most, original concept out there. And you know what? I actually don't mind Shield Hero all that much. I've actually just recently caught up to it, finally. And it's actually a fairly decent show. Like, I said in my previous What Will I Be Watching for when Shield Hero was announced that I had actually read the first volume of Shield Hero, and it's not too bad, and surprisingly, the anime adaptation in itself was also not too bad. So, I don't know if Arifureta Shokugyo de Sekai Saikyo, this series here, is going to fit into that same veil. I just can't say for certain because I've never read anything from it. But the fact that it's a huge new name in the light novel industry as it is right now in Japan, then you know what? It might be an interesting anime adaptation. We'll see. Alright, on the contrary though, this shit is gonna be dope as fuck. Dr. Stone. This is a series that I think a lot of people have been waiting for with an anime adaptation. Shonen Jump's new crowning intelligent series about a madman doctor who tries to rebuild society because the whole world got completely fucked over. It's awesome. Hell yeah, science. For real though, I have read a little bit of this manga because a bunch of my Shonen Todd friends have, recommended it to me, and I checked it out, and you know what? I have to agree with them. It's a fucking fantastic manga series. So a lot of people have been waiting on this. TMS Entertainment is taking care of it. I can't really tell you what they did off the top of my head. It's a name I do recognize. They've done some other stuff. I just can't tell you what they've done, but let's read the synopsis for those who don't know. Several thousand years after a mysterious phenomenon that turns all of humanity to stone, the extraordinary, intelligent, science-driven boy Senku Ishigami awakens. Facing a world of stone and the total collapse of civilization, Senku makes up his mind to use science to rebuild the world. Starting with his super strong childhood friend Taiju Oki, who awakened at the same time, they will begin to rebuild civilization from nothing. Depicting 2 million years of scientific history from the Stone Age to present day, the unprecedented crafting adventure story is about to begin. Yeah, that's the awesome thing about it, right? Is that, like, it is basically like a history lesson for all manga readers. You get to learn, like, all of the science development and just humanity developing, essentially, between these two characters that are trying to rebuild society from the Stone Age all the way to the present day. Now, I haven't caught up with the manga, per se. I've only read the first couple of volumes, but even the first couple of volumes is fucking dope. So, yeah. I hope this anime adaptation is good. I'm praying, at least with this one, that this is going to be a good anime adaptation. Anime Jeebus, please make it a good anime adaptation. Thank you. Alright, up next we have Isekai Cheat Magician. It's in the name now. They don't even have to, like, let us know. I mean, I could have figured out that it was an isekai just from this image, but nah, it's in the title now. That's how far deep we are in this shit, boys. From a light novel, of course, action adventure fantasy, of course. Done by Encourage Films? Never heard of them, but I mean, their art style seems to be pretty decent. It seems, super, whatever. Like, anyone could do this type of art style, in all honesty, so let's just hope now that the story is good. Let's read the synopsis. Nishimura Taichi and his friend Rin are transported into a fantasy world. Yeah, we figured that out from the title, you don't have to rub it in. While in their previous world, Taichi is a normal person who just has higher than average reflexes. Both he and Rin gain high levels of physical and magical ability and begin their new life as magicians. So it's an isekai. Thanks, we couldn't get that from the title. Like, that fucking synopsis didn't tell us anything. Oh, wait. Yeah, should have figured that out. But yeah, I guess it's just another isekai by a studio that we don't know with generic art style. I wonder if it's gonna be generic or not. Alright, up next we have Enen no Shoubotai. Oh, thank God, that's a name that I wanted to see. Looks like a firefighter anime? That's pretty interesting. Yeah. That looks already like 60 million times more interesting than the last series we just checked out. Let's look at the synopsis though. Terror has paralyzed the clockwork metropolis of Tokyo. Possessed by demons, people have begun to burst into flame, leading to the establishment of a special firefighting team, the Fire Force, ready to roll on a moment's notice to fight spontaneous combustion anywhere it might break out. The team is about to get a very unique addition, Shinda, a boy who possesses the unique power to run at the speed of a rocket, leaving behind the famous Devil's footprints and destroying his shoes in the process. Can the Fire Force discover the source of this strange phenomenon and put a stop to it, or will the city burn to ashes first? Hang on a second. This is Promare. This is straight up Promare. This is straight up the plot to Promare. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, by the time this video comes out, my video on Promare probably hasn't come out yet, but if you guys don't know, Promare is the new anime movie that recently came out this month, or last month, I think, so, like, less than a month ago, done by Trigger Studios, the new Trigger movie. Now, I am making a review video on it, hopefully should come out sometime next month, but let me just tell you firsthand, folks, this shit straight up sounds like Promare. This shit is straight up the plot to Promare. Like, even in Promare, there's like a firefighting force and like people are combustioning up, like instantly bursting into flames for no reason, and they have to put them out because there's like a devil, you know, hidden within and it's terrorizing all of Tokyo. That's literally Promare. I'm sure like the manga was made before the movie, but you know, the timing of getting this out, of this anime coming out like a month after Promare comes out, probably wasn't a good idea, David Productions. Or I guess wasn't a good idea, Trigger. I don't know which one came first, but either way, both are really fucking similar. But then again, if this is anything like Trigger's Promare, then I think this story is gonna be pretty freaking dope. And it's David Productions who are doing it, and they make some fine-ass stuff, so you know that the visuals are going to be on point as well. So all it is now is just if the character, the story writing is going to be good from the original manga series, and if it gets properly adapted by David Productions, and we should have a good freaking series. I mean, it's how many anime series do you know other than Promare that are about like firefighters? I mean, literally Promare and this are the only ones that I know personally, so hey, I welcome something with a new twist to it, even though there's something really similar that came out about a month ago, but in the grander scale of the anime world, this is something that's a little bit new, so I welcome it with open arms. Alright, up next is Vinland Saga. God damn yes. Now this is a manga series, for those of you who don't know, for the longest time was considered a manga series from its fans to be impossible to adapt into an anime. Like, and this is a series, mind you, that I was, again, going to include in my previous video, 10 amazing manga series that shouldn't get an anime adaptation. Links to that video is in the description if you want to check it out. I recommend it. And this was going to be on there until I heard that which studio was going to try and adapt it. And at first I was a little iffy about it, definitely very iffy about it, because I do love the manga series. I haven't caught up to it, but I have read a pretty good portion of it, and I watched the trailer with nails biting, and goddamn, now I'm fucking excited for it. Like, if Wit Studio manages to pull this shit off, it is going to be lit as fuck. It is going to be an anime series that people will be talking about for a very, very long time. But for those of you who don't know, let's read the synopsis. For 1,000 years, the Vikings have made quite a name and reputation for themselves as the strongest families with a thirst for violence. Thorfinn, the son of one of the Vikings' greatest warriors, spends his boyhood in a battlefield, enhancing his skills in his adventure to redeem his most desired revenge after his father was murdered. Really simple revenge story, but the whole concept of the Vikings and just the incredible art style from the original manga series, it just has a huge cult following, so hopefully the anime will do the manga justice. Now, one thing though I'm a little bit worried about is this right here. It says, note, first episode premieres on Amazon July 6th. Amazon, you just had to do that, didn't you? I really fucking hope this doesn't end up being a series that's like an Amazon exclusive, because who the fuck uses Amazon? I mean, I do, but I don't use it for watching anime, let's just say that. Because that's gonna be a real fucking shame if it does end up being like that. I really hope that Amazon doesn't fucking banana fish this shit and just creates an amazing series, and then make it super limited to whoever can watch it legally. But I mean, let's be real, all y'all motherfuckers are probably just gonna use the KISS anime, right? So it really doesn't matter for you guys. But still, this anime, if done right, is going to be fucking awesome. I'm so looking forward to this shit. Enough said. Alright, up next is Karakai Jouzu no Takagi-san Season 2. Now, I know this show. I was aware of its existence, and I am aware of the manga series that this is originally based off of, because it has, again, a massive cult following here in Japan. However, I haven't read it or watched it. I know what it's about, but I just haven't consumed any of it at all. But I've heard that it is pretty freaking good. So now that I'm seeing that there is going to be a Season 2 of it coming out, I either have to go and watch Season 1, or I have to at least read a little bit of the manga. Otherwise, all the fans of this series are probably going to flame me in the fucking comments. And I mean, I'm sure they're doing it right now. They're like, Joey the Anime Man hasn't watched Karakai Jouzu no Takagi-san, what the fuck, bro? Look, I already know, guys. You feel free to. Feel free. I don't care, though. Alright, up next we have 通常攻撃が全体攻撃で2回攻撃のお母さんを好きですか? I'm personally quite proud that I managed to say that without fucking up. Definitely did that first try, trust me. Now, again, this is a series that is, yet again, another isekai. Let's just clear that cloud up first before we continue. But it is also a light novel series, an isekai series that has made quite a name for itself in, again, the light novel industry here. But it's also starting to make a little bit of a name for itself outside of the light novel industry as well, because it is an isekai series about a mum being the protagonist. Yeah, a MILF isekai. That exists now. And at first I was a little bit iffy about the concept of the entire thing. Like, I wasn't too sure. Sounds a little strange, not gonna lie. But I actually read into it a little bit, and it is definitely a lot more on the interesting side of things, especially when we're dealing with the isekai world that is just full of mediocrity, let's not lie. So JC staff are going to be taking over the series. I haven't seen the trailer or anything about it. I only know the basic premise of it. But I mean, hey, I think this is going to be an isekai that is worthy of a try. It's going to have a little bit of a different twist to it, which is always welcoming, and especially a medium like isekai that is just oversaturated as fuck. But let's read the synopsis. Masato thought he was part of a random survey, but when he gets involved in a secret government scheme, he winds up trapped in the game world. Even more surprising, his mother's there too. Hell yeah. Every otaku's nightmare when you play games with your mom. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't know if JC staff are going to pull through with like a good quality JC staff or a bad quality JC staff, because they are kind of known for either one, really. We're just gonna have to flip a coin with this particular one. But I mean, hey, it's making a little bit of a name for itself, so I'm gonna reserve all the judgment until I actually watch it. Alright, up next is fuck, another long one. うちの娘のためならば俺はもしかしたら魔王も倒せるかもしれない. Another isekai. Another isekai. I already know, just from reading the title, this shit is a motherfucking isekai. The word Mao is there. That means demon lord in Japanese. And the only time a demon lord appears in an anime is when it's a motherfucking isekai. How many isekais do we have so far in this new season? Like, legit, how many do we have right now? We have this one. We have the one that we just did, Tsujou Kogeki. We have Isekai Cheat Musician. We have Arifurita Shokugyo de Sekai Saikyo. And I guess, I don't know if we're gonna count Danmachi as an isekai. But even if we don't, that's 4. 4 brand new series this season are all isekais. 4 isekais this season. This season alone. What the fuck? But this one is interesting because it has the slice of life tag on it. We don't usually see a lot of slice of life tag. I think the last slice of life isekai we got that was like even remotely good in any way was Konosuba, which I'm still waiting for that goddamn movie. I don't know where the fuck that is. This one's done by Maho Film, another studio again that's brand new. They're probably made just to fucking make isekai series, but let's read the synopsis. Dale is a cool Dale? What, is he a white guy? What the fuck? Is it that guy? That guy in the back there with the blonde hair? Dale is a cool, composed, and highly skilled adventurer who's made quite a name for himself despite his youth. One day on a job deep in the forest, he comes across a little devil girl who's almost or who's almost wasted away. Unable to just leave her there to die, Dale takes her home and becomes her adoptive father. Is that legal? Devil or not, Latina is beyond adorable, and the adventurer soon finds himself head over heels with being a parent. That's dangerous in a court of law. But why was she out in the forest to begin with, and why does she carry the mark of a criminal? I mean, I guess you're both criminals now. That's a weird concept that I'm not surprised is in anime, but I mean, I guess the whole combination of that with the whole isekai aspect of it is slightly interesting, I feel. I don't know what to think about this. Like, again, the art style is pretty generic, which means the animation is also going to be pretty generic, I feel. And again, I don't know the studio. The synopsis is a little iffy in my opinion. I'm not sure how we can expand upon that concept any further. So yeah, I guess I'll give it a go, but fuck, dude. I have no idea with this one. Alright, up next we have Kawaikerebba hentai de mo suki ni natte kuremasu ka? Okay, again, this is another light novel series. Oh man, it's an isekai and light novel takeover this season, isn't it? But this is another light novel series that is being quite popular in the light novel world. I have seen this book being kind of plastered everywhere. I did actually see this plastered around so much that I was fucking curious, and I was like, should I buy this first volume? Because it's being advertised in my face every time I go to the fucking bookstore. I just want to buy some JoJo, bro. And this fucking light novel has been blasted in my face, and I was that close to buying the first volume, but now I don't have to because there's a new fucking anime for it next season. From the title, you can tell this is going to be a comedy, romance, slice of life with a whole ton of ecchi elements in it because prepubescent boys don't know what porn is, apparently. The romantic comedy begins when a love letter arrives out of the blue for Keiki Kiryu, an ordinary high school student who has never had a girlfriend as long as he has been alive. The letter does not include the sender's name, but the letter does include white panties, alright? In the process of investigating who could be his Cinderella who left behind her panties, Keiki discovers every candidate is uniquely perverted, and desperately interested in having him participate in their perversion. Huh. That just sounds like a really, really poor attempt at a hentai. Does it not? That sounds like somebody went in with the intent to write a hentai or write an adult book, and it got denied so much that he just like turned down the hentai factor and just made a light novel out of it. That's literally what it sounds like. And hey, I'm okay with that, honestly. It honestly doesn't seem that bad. Like, I mean, you know, I'm usually a stickler for these really trashy, ecchi series. Like, you know, some of them may be really fucking bad, and trust me, I've read some pretty fucking bad romantic comedy, like ecchi filled light novels before. This definitely sounds like one of them, but hey, it's you know, what can you do? I like boobs. So yeah, I don't know the studio that's doing this, 7 in Geek Toys. The art style again looks pretty freaking generic. So I'm not gonna expect a whole lot of this one. That's the number one rule when you watch or you're about to start watching a comedy romance ecchi slice of life is go in with abso-fucking-lutely zero expectations, and you'll usually come out pretty okay at the end. Alright, up next is Mao-sama Retry. 5 isekai series. What the f- God damn, dude, look at the name of this studio. Ekachi Ipilka. That sounds like in itself an isekai series. If there was next season there was an isekai series called Ekachi Ipilka, I wouldn't even be fucking surprised. The story centers on Akira Ono, a regular guy who works at a company that manages an online game. He often plays the game as his character Mao, Dark Lord. But one day, when he logs on, he's whisked into the game's fantasy world as his character. There, he meets a one-legged girl and begins his adventures alongside her. A one-legged girl, okay, that's new. That's definitely new. But as he is a powerful Dark Lord, various nations and holy maidens journey to defeat him, and he stirs up trouble everywhere he goes. So it's Overlord, essentially. It's essentially fucking Overlord. It's Overlord with a one-legged waifu in it. Cool. Zero expectations for this. I'm gonna give it a go because I am kind of interested with the whole one-legged waifu aspect of things because I've never really seen that before, so again though, keeping my expectations to the absolute bottom of the barrel. Okay, up next is Danberu Nankiro Moteru. Now this is again, another manga series that has kind of made a name for itself in the manga world here in Japan, and also among the hardcore manga community over in the West, because it's about girls who lift! And isn't that as waifu as they can get? Now, it is done by Doga Kobo, which is a studio that I do quite enjoy. They do make some pretty entertaining animations, especially in the whole comedy slice of life aspect of anime. And, you know, this is a comedy, this is an ecchi comedy, so hey, throwing a little bit of ecchi in there, who the fuck's complaining? Hibiki, are you fat again? Wow, what a beginning. What a beginning to this synopsis. A friend's cruel words, which cut like a knife into the heart of Hibiki Sakura, a high school girl who loves to eat. Hibiki decides to go on a diet to be absolutely thin by summer vacation, but she cannot keep exercising right alone. That's when Hibiki found herself before a training gym. Upon joining the gym, Hibiki meets her beautiful and charismatic student council president, Akimi Soryuin, and steps into the intense yet enjoyable world of weight training. So it's essentially Anitore EX, but with plot. Amazing. To be fair though, these girls are pretty freaking cute. Like, we have, you know, your sophisticated, I'm guessing this is the student council president, just from the hair. I'm guessing this is the main character, and I mean, tan girls for the win. And there's a second tan girl as well for the win. And then you have your generic Russian girl who came back to Japan. I guarantee, I don't know if that character is actually that, but if they have white hair and that complexion, most likely Russian. Now, I haven't read any of Danberu Nankiro Moteru, but I have heard some pretty entertaining and interesting things about it. I mean, again, it's not going to be the most amazing or grandiose story, I can already tell just from the synopsis, but is it going to be an entertaining series nonetheless? I feel like it will be. And Doga Kobo, we don't have to worry about the visuals because Doga Kobo is usually pretty spot on with that kind of stuff anyway, so now all we have to worry about is if the jokes in the said comedy, quote unquote, is actually going to be funny or entertaining in any way. And if it is, then there's nothing to fucking complain about. So I'm gonna check this one out when it comes out. Pretty excited for it. Alright, up next is Sounan Desu Ka? Again, this is another manga series that I've been looking at in the manga world. Wow, I should really, like, thank the bookstores all across Japan for, like, just shoving these kinds of series in my faces. Now I know why. It's because they're getting anime adaptations. Okay, got it. This one, however, is a short form. I don't know if it's based off a Yonkoma manga, a 4-panel manga or not, or if it's just going to take a story and make it a short form. If it is the latter, then usually means it's going to suck, because taking a short form of a long story or a story with a overbearing plot usually doesn't end up well. We usually end up with something like Pupa, which everybody wants to fucking forget about. But this is done by Ezola Studios. I don't know if they are actually Italian, but it makes me want to sound it and say it in an Italiano accent. Because of a plane crash starting today, we're spending the springtime of our lives on a desert island. You say that with such optimism, when in fact there is nothing but overwhelming doom. There's nothing here, so we have to make everything and eat everything. Who the fuck wrote this synopsis, bro? Check out our high school girl's survival story of courage and knowledge. We're actually doing very well. Volume 1 includes how to eat cicadas, how to build traps, a simple allergy test, how to eat hermit crabs, etc. What the fuck is up with this? Oh, should've known. Okay, so it's essentially just about girls getting stranded on a desert island, but making it fun and cute. So it's essentially Beach Episode the anime. This is what that sounds like. It is a short form Beach Episode the anime. Every episode is going to be a beach episode. Is that a good thing? I mean, hey, I'm not complaining, but if it has an actual story behind it, then I am complaining a little bit, because I would like to see it, you know, evolve into more of like a survival story, you know. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think, you know, something like a Castaway type of anime would be pretty freaking cool with cute girls in it, but this doesn't seem like it's going to be that. So yeah, again, zero expectations with this one. I'm just gonna see how this one ends up. Okay, and last but not least, I want to check this one out, Bemu. Now, I'm pretty keen to check this one out because it is based off a very, very old series called Yokai Beamer. Now, I don't know when Yokai Beamer itself came out, but I'm like remembering it as like at least like a 30 or 40-year-old series. Like, I'm sure Thomas has put up the Wikipedia page on the screen just to correct me. But this is based off a very, very old series that like my parents grew up with, my mum grew up with. I've never seen it, or at least I think that's what it is, because I'm reading the synopsis right now. It says 3 monsters, Beamer, who looks like a gangster, Bero, which looks like a boy, and Beta, a witch, act as agents of justice, hoping that they will be allowed to become human. Beamer, Bero, Beta is literally the 3 characters from Yokai Beamer, like the original series, but it says original, so I don't know if it's going to be like taking the old series and kind of making it like an homage using the same characters, or if it's going to be like a reimagining, kind of like what Devilman Crybaby was to the original Devilman series, right? So if it's the latter, if it's like a modern dark reimagining of the original series, which from the look of this artwork, it seems that way, because the original series was definitely a lot more lighthearted than this, then I'm guessing this is going to be like the next Devilman Crybaby. Like, this straight up looks like a Netflix original. I don't know if it's going to be a Netflix original, but I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being a Netflix original. If it is, I'm pretty fucking keen about it, but let's read the rest of the synopsis. Several episodes involve them protecting a young boy. The style of animation is fairly distinctive, and the storyline's not without interest. Okay, well, that was just a review within this synopsis. I wanted a synopsis, not a short form review, AnyDB. But yeah, it sounds really interesting. I think I'm gonna have to like look into it maybe, because if this is anything like what, again, Devilman Crybaby was to Devilman series, then I think I'm gonna enjoy this a lot. And it's a horror series, which for me is extra good points, because we need more horror series in anime. We need to stop with the isekais. Give me some more horror and dark fantasy, plus. But hey, you know what? I think we're gonna do it with that. We're gonna end it there. Thank you for watching once again to the very end. Let me know what you guys think about all the opinions and first impressions I gave about all of the series on this list. Again, the overwhelming amount of isekais is insane. I just saw 5. I just in this video, there are 5 new isekai shows coming out next season. And I don't know if there are even more that I just didn't show in this video, but goddamn, the isekai takeover is fucking real. I personally, though, am excited for a few series. Dr. Stone, Vinland Saga, Beamer looks pretty freaking cool. And even some of the isekai series that I was kind of like making fun of a little bit, I am still going to check out, because it does look kind of interesting and a nice little unique twist on the overbearing isekai takeover that's happening this season. So yeah, I'm pretty freaking keen about that. Let me know in the comments below as well what series you are looking forward to the most, or any series that I should check out that I didn't mention in this video. And hey, just a quick little announcement as well. If you guys are going to Anime Expo next season, then I will be doing a special panel with a Japanese company called Tsuzukimi, where essentially I will be doing what I just did in this video, but with every single anime that is coming out next season. And I mean every single one. It's going to be a 3-hour panel that I will be doing at Anime Expo, where we go over all of the trailers and all of the information about all the new series that are coming out next season, and we talk about it with the crowd interactively. It's going to be super fucking fun. I believe it is happening on the 6th of July, which I think is the Saturday, from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So across lunchtime. All the information right here on the screen right now. And for those of you who are going to Anime Expo, I will be uploading a like full finished schedule of mine if you want to catch me on all 4 or 5 days, however long Anime Expo is. Once it is finished, right now we're still trying to figure out a few other things, but once it is finished, I'll be letting you guys know here on YouTube and also over on my Twitter with all that information as well, so make sure to follow me there as well. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and some other videos from me, and you would like to support your boy in a little bit more of a direct way, then the best place to do it is over on Patreon, patreon.com/TheAnimeMan. Go check it out. We have podcasts, secret episodes, full scripts to videos, and you can get your name shouted out in the description of every single video, or even at the end of a video of every month. It's pretty cool stuff. A bunch of people have already joined, and I appreciate the fuck out of you guys' support. So again, go to patreon.com/TheAnimeMan if you'd like to support your boy. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for running my banner, keep watching anime. Ciao!